YouTube that too, but then when you actually edit it,
or share.
My
lips are really dry. Sorry.
Mandy, I feel herself too much right now.
She's been feeling herself for like the past
Who else is gonna film me for me?
It's very slimming, isn't it? Very. I need to get rid of my gum.
Disgusting.
And her hair's so nice as well. We both made our wigs on the same day.
Yes.
Our new wigs on the same day. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Mandy, what's wrong with you? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am back with Mandy. Yes, she is back on the channel. You would have seen her in a video that we did last year. Was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year, second year.
Literally in our second year of uni, where my lighting was rubbish. I looked disgusting. I don't know if you want to speak for yourself, but
let's just say the glow up is real.
The glow up is real, as you can tell. But Mandy has come back, and we are answering a question today. So I basically went on Snapchat and I just asked you guys, like I said, myself and, or Mandy and I, or is it myself and Mandy? Mandy and I are gonna film a random video, and you can what do you want it to be about? And so you guys Snapchatted. Thank you so much for sending in your suggestions. I'm sorry, but we had to pick one. Shakina. Shakina? Shakina. It's Shakina.
I'm pretty sure Shakina.
Okay, well, Shakina. Shakina, Mandy saying Shakina, I'm saying Shakina, says, hey Nissy, could yourself and the lovely lady with you do a video involving protocols in romantic relationships? For example, should a girl be allowed to go through her partner's phone and vice versa? Mum, don't message me right now, okay? I'm filming. Or does that initiate suspicion, I'm guessing you're trying to say, or lack of trust? What is the difference between being territorial and jealous? How long is considered an appropriate length of time before a relationship can get serious? And she basically said the whole video doesn't have to be about relationships, but it'd be lovely if you could talk about those things. Thank you. Thank you for sending in your question. And we're gonna go straight to Mandy.
Oh God,
I think we need to break it down though, because there's a lot.
Should we answer first?
So, protocols in romantic relationship, for example, should a girl be allowed to go through her partner's phone, yes or no?
Okay, I feel like you should not go through your partner's phone at all. I feel like you should have a level of trust within your relationship to the point where you can trust that person to know that they will always be on your side in a weird way. Like, how can I explain it? So let's say Nissy's phone's right here, yeah? And I'm in a relationship with Nissy. Why is it that I should feel like, for me to find out what Nissy's doing, I need to go through her phone? I should be able to trust her that she's always got my side. Like, she's riding for me, you know? She's there, do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like when it comes to guys, you kind of just need to leave them to do their own thing sometimes. Like, sometimes I don't need to always be with my boyfriend. I'm not in a relationship, I'm just saying theoretically, if I was. Single.
By the way, if you hear a voice, okay, that's Sydney in the background. Hi guys. She might do ad-libs here and there, but yeah.
Yeah, so you need to be able to let your boyfriend have his space away from you. You guys don't need to always be like together all the time. You don't need to always do things together, but you just need to have that level of trust to the point where you know that he's gonna have your back, and you just have to let him be him. Like, let him be who he is, and he should let you be who you are. And you should both just have that level of understanding, that level of trust to the point where, you know what, I'm gonna trust you to know that you're not doing anything outside of this relationship. And God forbid, but if they actually were, they should have that respect to come and tell you this is what's going on, and you should know this, that and the other. But you shouldn't go through their phone.
You better say, girl. But however, okay, I agree with Mandy. I am somebody that is like, literally, like, you just don't need to. Like, if you really trust that person and you're in a good relationship whereby they've never given you a reason to think that they were doing anything behind your back, never felt like they were cheating, you're in a stable, in a happy relationship, because that thought to go through the phone would only come if you had a suspicion. That would, personally speaking, like me, I don't ever think like, you know, I just don't think you need to. However, one thing that I will say is something that I have mentioned in a recent episode of BKCHAT. So I mentioned something about a relationship that I was in before, not a very good relationship, whereby I was cheated on. If you don't know about BKCHAT, You Are Crazy Because You're Missing Out. It's a show that I was a part of during the summer and people have loved it so far. I'm going to leave all the links and all the stuff in the description box below. Shout out to all of the BKCHAT team. They are amazing. Love everyone on the team, and it's basically just a talk show where we talk about real stuff, real life, and just have like a discussion about certain things. In there was this whole thing about suspecting your partner, and I'd mentioned that I have actually been cheated on in the past. And one thing that I can always say though is that if the person is acting shifty when you do go to their phone, because this was red flag. I don't know why I was so dumb. I was so naive. I was young, naive, you know, whatever. But you know, the guy, he was so shifty with his phone. I didn't even have the intention necessarily to even go through his phone, but even for me to just pick up his phone, for example, someone might have messaged him, and you know when you might just pick up just to look like, oh, okay, whatever. He used to just snatch the phone. He used to be so weird. He used to be off. So I would say that if ever you feel like they're acting suspicious with their phone and they won't just leave their phone around, or if, like, for example, you might pick it up, because if you're in a relationship, you guys might be so close to the point where if someone calls them, you can just pick it up, or if someone messages them, you could be like, oh babe, this person messaged you. If you can't do that, guys, red flag. You either flee from that situation, or you need to have a conversation with that person, because most likely something is going on. So yeah, I would say don't go through their phone if you're in a good place, but if you feel like something's a bit off, I'm not gonna lie, you might need to have that conversation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But as well, if you're gonna go looking for something, you will definitely find it.
Child.
And as women, we always look into things a bit more than what they actually might be. So like a girl might just text him, or someone might just say, oh, like, it was lovely seeing you the other day. And if you've got those suspicions in your mind, you're just gonna think, where were you going? What Becky were you seeing? Like, you're just gonna, your mind's gonna go into overdrive. But really and truly, could have just been you both were just walking down the street, just cross paths, had like a quick 10-minute conversation and went your own way. So yeah, if you do go looking, you will find something that you will not like, and you'll always have a problem with it, because we're just gonna nitpick at every single thing.
Yeah.
But what would you say, obviously this is a question to Nissy, what would you say if, let's say you've been cheated on by a guy, would you then think it's okay to then go through his phone if you take him back?
Ooh.
Can I add on to this?
Yeah, go.
How do you rebuild trust if you stay with someone who's cheated on you?
Oh, that's a good ass question. Okay, let me answer that first, and then we'll go with the real building trust. I think it will be hard for you to just accept that, okay, I can trust this person, but I feel like naturally you'd want to anyway, because they've cheated on you, they've stepped out on you once, so what is to stop them from doing it again? So I think personally, though it would not be good, I feel like you probably, like, I feel like if I was in that situation, I probably would, because, so yeah, with this person that cheated, we got back together at one point, but I had said, and I'd made it clear, like, we need to be cool, but we got back to a point where we had the same password on our phones. Yeah, so it was proper, like, I think he understood that I needed a sense of security, so he didn't make it an issue anymore in terms of his phone. Like, he was like, you can go through my phone, you can do what you want, even though I still never did.
But I think it's just a gesture with you just knowing that option's always there.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True. Anyway, go on, you can answer. What was it again?
What was it?
How do you rebuild trust in a relationship when you've gotten back together with someone who cheated on you?
Oh my God.
Do you know, I don't think I can answer this, because to the best of my knowledge, I have not been cheated on.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to build trust. But I feel like if I was going to take you back, there must be a certain level of love and commitment that I can see, you know what, this is someone that I can genuinely see myself spending the rest of my life with, for me to even consider, like, after that level of disrespect, for me to take you back. But I don't know.
Well, speaking as someone who's did that, been there, done that, it's hard, number one. Like, trust me, it takes time, it takes a while, but the person will work. Like, if the person really likes you, they will work and they will try to put you at ease. So like I kind of said, you know, the guy, when I got back with him, we had the same password to each other's phone. And I know that sounds like, but he still could have other ways of hiding things. It was slowly making me, like, have that trust again, in the sense that, listen, he was making effort, he was very transparent afterwards, just little things. So slowly you start to think, do you know what, I'm seeing the changes. If I am going to be with him, I have made that decision. he's not forcing my hand to stay with him, therefore I have to learn how to trust him, though it will take time. But for your own sanity and your own health and your own relationship, you're gonna have to learn to do that. Otherwise, walk away. That's what I would say. But just so that this video doesn't get too long, what is the difference between being territorial and jealous? That's such a good question.
I think when you're territorial, it's just... Actually, let me talk about jealousy first. I feel like when you're jealous, you're acting out on you being territorial. So I feel like if I was jealous of a girl that's like in my boyfriend's life or whatever, I would have an issue with the girl. If I'm being territorial, I'm more of acting out within our relationship, like this is my boyfriend, this is my partner, you can't come near. But if I'm jealous, I'm physically acting out on that feeling, in the sense that I'm really bad at it.
But isn't that the same thing?
No, because I feel like me just being territorial, I'll just be like, you know, I'll be doing the most. I'll be like, obviously, bae this, bae that, like tagging him on all the pictures, whatever, just making it known that we're in a relationship. But if I'm being jealous, I'm having a problem with individual people. But me being territorial is like, I'm just protecting our little bubble. But yeah, I don't think you should be territorial or jealous. I feel like everyone should just be free.
To be honest, I kind of want to like counteract that. I feel like being territorial is okay. I am quite territorial, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't share. So if you're my man, you my man. So not territorial in the sense that like I'm having problems with individual people or whatever. I'm just very like,
what's yours is yours.
What do you mean? Yeah, what's mine is mine, and kind of like just know certain boundaries. Obviously, but like you don't mean about boundaries anyway, because I know like you have to have boundaries in all relationships. But I really don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm just very, this is mine.
Yeah, I get that as well, but I don't think that's... maybe that is a bit terrible.
Just a tad bit, like a tad bit. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just a bit quite like, you just need to have boundaries, and this is my guy, do not, just certain levels of respect, just please. But then being jealous, I feel like your man, I think jealousy is a problem on your man's part, to be fair, because in the sense that he should make you feel so secure, you wouldn't even have to be jealous of anything else.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not always the guy that makes you feel like something's wrong. Like, I've been in a situation where it was like, oh gosh, this wasn't anyway, I've been in a situation where I felt kind of jealous of his relationship with someone else, and I knew that it was absolutely nothing on his part, but my jealousy stemmed from the fact that I could see something within her and not within him.
What could you see though?
I could see that she liked him, and I knew that he didn't like her, but I was just jealous of the fact that they had a friendship based on something that I hated anime, and they had a friendship based on the fact that they had, like, they both liked anime or whatever, and I was just jealous of the fact that they had that and I didn't. But it was never anything with him, it was just because I could see that she liked him. Yeah.
But did you ever tell him that you felt like she liked him?
Yeah, I told him.
Okay, so then don't you think that it should have been him on his part to then be like, do you know what, I need to maybe pull myself a little bit back from this girl because you are uncomfortable in that situation?
True, but not gonna lie, we broke up like we broke up like straight after, so that conversation
it never happened.
But I do, like, if I do have a problem with somebody else, I will tell you to go check her.
Right, so that's, you know, I think it's still kind of not necessarily his fault, but the way in which he reacts is then his fault.
Yeah,
he needs to tell her, like, not necessarily even say anything, because you need to understand that your man or your girl, vice versa, would have had the opposite sex friends in the first place before you. So I'm not saying tell him like not to be friends with anybody, but he just needs to make you feel so secure. Like, even with that, like with that whole anime stuff, he just needs to say, okay, right, I need to calculate, like, this is my girlfriend, and if she doesn't really feel so happy, I need to do something about it, rather than just let you keep feeling the way that you feel. So that's what I would say anyway. But please don't be jealous, don't be those psycho girlfriends, nobody likes that. Like, please, okay, just chill, relax, still have your space, of course, but still make your man know that you're, like, it's the two of you guys, you know? So it's just about balance. Next question. How long is considered an appropriate length of time before a relationship can get serious? No time is an appropriate time. You will know when you know.
Yeah, I think it's all up to individual people within the relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can meet somebody, be engaged, married within a year. sometimes 3 months, sometimes 10 years.
Even though we've said that there should be there should be space, because you said you want to meet somebody being
I feel like
engaged
that's just
for like 2-3 years.
Engaged for 2
No,
years.
not having like dated, like being girlfriend and boyfriend for like 2-3 years,
But-
then be engaged and then get married.
But I feel like that's just my personal preference and just how my character is. Like with me, I'm one of those people that it takes me a very long time for me to actually feel as though I know somebody well enough for me to say, you know what, let's do this. And I feel like for me, I would want to date somebody for about, I don't know, 3 years, engagement for like a year, get married, you know, live happily ever after, whatever. But that's just my personal thing, because I feel like for me to genuinely know you, for me to know the good things about you, for me to be able to see the bad things about you, and for me to be able to still love you after seeing the good and the bad, it's going to take me time. But for some other people, they might be better judges of character than I am, and it can obviously take shorter or longer period of time. Like for me, I always say that I've got a spirit of discernment. I can definitely see, like, as soon as I meet someone, I know whether or not I'm going to like you long term or not. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to take me time for me to truly know who you are. Like, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you, I need to see how you are in your best times and in your worst times. I'm not going to just like jump the gun and then, I don't know, a year or 2 into a marriage for me to actually see what you're like when you're at your angriest moment, when you're like down. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to see it before anything was to happen, so I know how you react in all situations. But that's just my personal
and with that, at least you have the chance to walk away, because marriage, I'm so sorry, I know people might be watching and thinking, okay, but you can get a divorce. No, not on this side. Marriage is for life, boo. When you put that ring on, okay, engagement, that's not even engagement, you can walk away. The moment you say I do and you sign those papers, divorce where? I say it all the time, it's till death do us part. So one of us got to die, and it ain't gonna be me. so you know, boo, what we gonna do from here? Cause what?
Time to be serious.
Guys, there really isn't an appropriate time. It just depends on the individual couple, because you could literally, like you said, meet someone today and just realize that, oh my god, that person's the one. Or like, you know, and some people, the joke is like, you have friends and stuff who you're friends with for years, and then all of a sudden they get married. You know, there's no time frame, so don't put a time frame on it. Just let it be and just see how it goes.
Let God order your steps.
Let go and let God, okay? And just have faith that He will guide you, and He will essentially give you to somebody, or vice versa, give you to somebody that is worth your time and your effort and your love and everything like that. But you gotta pray about that, okay? I think we've like rambled on for a while, just a tad bit, but
at the same time.
we really do. So crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, beautiful people. Thank you so much to Mandy for coming on again. Next time, yes, you will have myself, Sydney, who I didn't know was back, and she's just been in her room hibernating, so I didn't know she was here, so obviously I didn't even tell her. But yeah, Sydney and Sarah, we're all gonna do a video together. Comment below what you want to see on the channel, any particular videos or whatever. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Wow. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Stay beautiful. Bye. Deuces, more.
It stopped. Oh, it hasn't stopped actually.
Lol. Tell them.
Your first love should be yourself. If you want an example of what love should be, love yourself. Actually, no, God should love you as well. If I even explain to you the stuff that Nissy does,
oh no, I'm vile.
you lot actually feel,
I'm not gonna lie, like, you guys see me looking.
see how she took off that chewing gum at the beginning? Look at it. Look how she just disrespected the BBC.
I know.
It was a
I've been looking at that.
Disrespected the BBC.
Okay, but listen, I am vile. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I am really like bush. You guys see me looking all prim and proper and coming on camera, but I'm a very bush person.
Nissy will eat bread that has gone off like 2 weeks ago. As long as
it's
there's
not
no
moldy,
green,
yeah.
she'll eat it.
But what do you mean? So I should throw it away?
Yes. There's a best before date.
Yeah, and best before it comes into my belly. And with that, I think we're gonna look.